Today's topic which I have chosen is very important for you, and that is Inco Terms. Inco Terms means this topic comes to roughly 4 or 6 marks in BFM module A. Okay, very important topic. So watch the video till end. And what is the schedule for this session? I'll be covering all the important Inco Terms used in this, which will come in the exam, and also these objective questions we'll see if time permits. Okay, but this is very important part for you, Inco Terms. Okay, because this is nowadays only 4 to 5 days are remaining, so I won't find any time, or you also won't find the time. Let's see if time permits, we'll cover this also. Okay, so Incoterms 2020 important ones I'll cover. So let's move on without wasting the time. Download Adda 24/7 app on your mobile. Also join Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. You'll get all the study material, notes, question bank, video lectures, everything on this app. Okay. So also this, yeah, important part. This batch is coming up for December 22 exam. Remember, this is the last exam with this portion. Next exam will be the new portion. So go for this exam as fast as possible and clear it. Okay. July 4th it is starting. So more on this later. Let's start with the Incoterms here. I'll classify these between two types. Okay. One is C. Second is land or anything. See this. I'll classify it over here. C. Okay. And this is what for land. Second is for air. Okay. Or railways. Anything. All these things means anything except C. These are the Incoterms, and for C, these are the Incoterms. Keep the bifurcation very clear. Okay. See here, which is the best Incoterm for the seller? It's always X works. What do you mean by X works here? If I am the seller, I'll tell you. See, let's say when you buy a refrigerator, okay, or any modern appliance from any shop, what does that shopkeeper tell you? See this. This is the refrigerator. This is my shop. I'll sell you. Now, carting from my shop to your house is not my responsibility. That you have to arrange for that carter, and you have to take it. You have to pay the charges for that. Now, in between something happens for that carter. He faces with some accident that your goods are lost. This guy doesn't take any responsibility. That is the meaning of Incoterm. Incoterms means whose responsibility lies up to what point. Okay. So coming back quickly to our topic, see this. X works is the best always for the seller, and for the buyer, which is the best one, DDP means here everything is covered by the seller in DDP, and here X works everything is covered by the buyer. So best for seller X works, best for buyer DDP. Got this? From CAIIB angle, I'm just focusing on your exam now. Okay, nothing else. No more knowledge, no more gyan. Okay. Next one, CIF, CFR and FOB. Now these are for the C. CIF means what? Cost, insurance and freight. CFR means cost and freight, and FOB means free on board. And last one is FAS, free alongside ship. Now what do you mean by this? In this, cost means what? Manufacturing cost, insurance and freight charges means the ship's cost, logistic cost is covered by the seller. CFR, cost and freight. Cost means manufacturing cost, and this ship cost is covered by the seller, but insurance is not covered by the seller in CFR. In CIF, insurance is covered by the seller, but who covers the insurance then in CFR? In CFR, the insurance is covered by the buyer. Okay. FOB. FOB means what? Why FOB is important? Remember, RBI tells you in India any pre-shipment finance is to be done on FOB basis only. FOB basis only. Remember this word. Okay. So that's why this FOB is important. What do you mean by FOB? See here, if I am the seller and I have this FOB Incoterm, what will I do? I'll bring the goods from my office to in the truck, take it to this dock. Dock means this port. Load the goods on the ship. See this, load the goods on the ship, and then my responsibility is over. Got this point? FOB means I'll bring the goods up to this ship, load it on the ship, and then my responsibility is over as a seller. Now if once I load it on the ship and now the ship sinks here only, then I don't have any responsibility. It's the responsibility of the buyer. Okay. So in FOB, the insurance is not covered by the seller. The insurance is covered by the buyer. The cost means the cost of this logistics is not covered by the seller, it is covered by the buyer. In CIF, the cost, insurance and freight means this logistic cost all are covered by the seller. Okay, I'll mark it over here for your easy reference. See this, it is everything is covered by the seller. Okay, here CFR, cost and freight are covered by the seller, but insurance is covered by the buyer over here. Okay, FOB, all this insurance and freight, both I and F, I'll write it. Okay, both are covered by the buyer over here in FOB. Got this point, everyone? Clear with this? Type yes if you have understood it. Only then we'll go ahead. Okay, I want yes from everyone, only then I'll go ahead, because you need to understand this. After 5 days you will be facing this exam, right? FOB done. FAS means what? It's not asked in the exam. Okay, just for your reference I'm telling you. FAS means free alongside ship. What will I do? I'll bring the goods from in this truck as a seller, keep it near the quay. We call this as quay, right? The means the part near this ship is known as quay or jetty. Okay, so I'll put it on the jetty, and loading from here is to be done by the buyer. Okay, got this point? Okay, now these are for the sea. Now what about land? See here, all these are parallel to these. Let's see, FOB was on ship, so here it is FCA, free carrier. So free carrier is similar, I'll mark it over here. Free carrier is similar to FOB over here. Now marking will be difficult over here, I'll write it over here only. CPT is similar to CFR, means cost and freight, but CPT is used in land, CFR is used in sea. CIP is similar to CIF, cost, insurance and freight, but CIF is used in sea and CIP is used in land. DAP, there is no parallel to DAP in this C. DAP is used for both. DAP is used for both. Okay, land and sea. Okay, both of them DAP is used. Remember this D Inco term, D this and D this, both can be used for any one. Okay, so which is the best Inco term now for seller? Ex works. Which is the best Inco term for buyer? DDP. Who pays the customs duty at the importer's place in DDP? In which Inco term? So in DDP, seller pays everything is borne by the seller. So DDP, that's why I say DDP is best for the buyer. Okay, so move on. Now these are the Inco terms, just I have written it for your reference. Xworks means Xworks name place. Xworks Jamnagar, it is said. Jamnagar means Jamnagar we have a port. So Xworks Jamnagar. Okay, similarly CFR, cost and freight. So CFR JNPT. So cost and freight and port is JNPT. It's always named like that. Okay, CIF Chennai. It means what? Cost, insurance and freight at Chennai port or JNPT port, whichever name is mentioned. CPT, carriage paid to. Here there is no port. Remember, this is for land. So carriage paid to. So up to what place will I pay the carriage? CPT Dubai means what? I'll send it via air or truck or anything, and up to Dubai I'll pay the freight for that truck. Okay, CIP, again same logic. CIP Dubai means cost, insurance and this carriage also, this transportation charges, everything is paid in CIP. Okay, now this is FCA. See this, FCA, FAS, FOB. FCA free carrier, now this is used in land. FAS is used in sea alongside ship, right? FOB is on board. So FCA and FOB are similar. FCA is for land, FOB is for sea. Got this point, everyone? Keep it very clear. FCA Mumbai means what? It is for land, free carrier by the truck. FOB JNPT, here FOB Mangalore. Suppose if I say FOB Mumbai, it doesn't mean FOB Mumbai means anywhere in Mumbai. It means the port in Mumbai, JNPT port. But that's why in FOB it's always mentioned the name of the port. Okay. Arrival means when the arrive at the importer's place. DDU and DDP, delivery duty unpaid, delivery duty paid. Unpaid means what? DDU Sharjah means what? I'll send the goods and I won't pay the duty, customs duty at Sharjah. Okay, so that's DDU. Nowadays under 2020 this Inco term is not used, only DDP is used. Okay, and there's one more Inco term instead of that, that is used as DAP, delivery at place. Okay, So here in DAP also the Incoterm, this delivery duty is not paid by the seller. It is paid by the buyer. In DDP, delivery duty paid. Everything is paid by the seller. Okay, so that's why DDP Sharjah means what? I'll pay all the customs duty, all the freight charges, all the insurance, everything will be paid by the seller. Okay. So this is the table I have prepared. Pause this video, watch this table. It gives the responsibility of whose responsibility is up to what place. Okay. So this XWorks, FCA, FAS, FOB, CFR, CIF, CPT, CIP, DAP, DPU and DDP. All these Incoterms are mentioned over here. You can watch this, but I'll tell you whatever I have told you just now, only those are used in exam. If you want for your knowledge, you can go for this. Okay. So before going ahead, say this. In this batch, we'll be covering all the numericals, all the case studies, plus numericals that is done, plus objective questions. Remember, you get roughly 12 case studies in ABM, 12 case studies in BFM of 5 marks each. So 60 marks roughly you have case studies. So we'll be covering that. Okay. So also there is a 78% or 80% off going on. Use this code Y432. I'll come to this. Okay. I'll show you how to use this code. Okay. So let's go for this. Let's solve some objective questions first. Okay. Minimum obligation of the seller is represented under which term of Incoterm? Okay, I've marked it over here, but XWorks. Is XWorks the correct answer? I might be wrong. FOB might be the correct answer. Type A, B, C or D. Which one do you think? A, B, C or D? I may be wrong. I have wrongly ticked it. Okay. So what do you say? A, B, C or D? Correct. B. Okay. FAS and FOB are used in which type of transport? So which type of transport? FAS, FOB. Just now we saw it. Say this. Say this. FAS, FOB. Say this. FAS, FOB are used where? They are used in C, right? So type the answer. Which one? They are used in A, B, C or D. Which one? A, B, C or D. Which one? Inland waterway or sea, right? Any kind. Is it for any kind? No. It's not used for land and air, because there we have FCA, free carrier, right? Rail, FCA. Air, FCA. We don't use FOB in this, okay, because free on board. Board means what? What is the meaning of this word board? Board means the ship which is there, okay, and the place where the goods are to be kept, okay. So that is known as board. The goods are to be kept at the bottom of the sea, always at the bottom of the ship, okay, okay. So that is known as board, okay. That's why this board can't be used for this planes and this trucks, okay. Next, there is a Thai company which will import from USA first time. When the company imports from USA, which Incoterm consignee should propose to the shipper for the benefit? Shipper, remember, shipper means always the word seller, okay. So if your customer is the seller, means your, understand this point very well, your customer is the seller. So what would you suggest him? Which Incoterm will you suggest him? You are a banker, okay. So you should always look at the benefit of your customer. So your customer is a seller. Which one is the best Incoterm for the seller? XWorks. So that's why what will you suggest him? XWorks, right? Next. Now understand which is this Incoterm. See this. This is C, this is the ship. Now this is the seller, this is the buyer. So this seller is giving this goods up to this part, and then the ship leaves. So which among these is this Incoterm? FOB, XWorks. XWorks means what? At this doorstep. So is this Incoterm XWorks? No, because here we are coming up to the sea. CIP, cost and insurance paid. CIP is used for what? It is used for land. Okay. CPT, it is used for land. So is this land transaction? No, this is by the sea. So you won't be using CIP and CPT. XWorks is also gone. So what remains? FOB. FOB is used for sea. So that's why this is FOB. What is the difference between CFR and CIF? Okay. CFR means what? Cost and insurance, cost and freight. Okay. CIF means what? Cost, insurance and freight. All these three are paid by the seller, and here cost and freight are paid by the seller. But insurance is not paid by the seller in CFR. So check these terms. Here, I may be wrong. I have ticked it over here, but you check it yourself because you have to answer it in exam. Type A, B, C or D clearly. Okay. CFR, no duty. No duty means what? No duty is paid by the seller. CIF, shipper pays the duty. Shipper means seller. Does seller pay the duty in CIF? No. It is a buyer who pays the duty. Duty means what? Customs duty. What do you mean by customs duty? Say this term. I'll show you over here. Say this. When the ship reaches the importer's place, this is importer, this is the buyer, and this is the seller. When the ship reaches over here, there's a customs house over here that will charge the customs duty. Who is to pay that? That is huge amount. So that is known as a customs duty. Okay. So coming back to our question, say this. So shipper pays the duty, wrong. CFR, shipper pays the cost. So means shipper means seller. Seller pays the cost. So that is right. Consignee pays the cost. Means does consignee means buyer. This is always known as the buyer. Consignee. Okay. These terms are new. Might be new for you because you have not worked in trade finance. Okay. I have spent almost 8 years in trade finance department of the banks. Okay. So CIF. So buyer. Okay. So buyer will pay for the cost. Is this so? The cost and freight is paid by the seller in this CIF also. What is the responsibilities? Cost, insurance and freight. So all the three things are paid by the seller. So this is wrong. CFR, no insurance. No insurance means by the seller. So insurance is paid by the buyer. So that is correct. CIF, shipper pays the insurance. Means seller. Seller pays the insurance over here. So that is also correct. So that's why C is the answer. And fourth, CFR, shipper takes the risk. Shipper means seller. Does seller take the risk? No. Seller says my job is over once I pay this cost and once I pay this freight. Now if I load, this is the, let's say the ship, okay, and this is the sea, okay. Now this seller puts the goods in the ship and he pays for this freight, means this logistical cost, and this cost of the goods is paid. Now this ship, if it sinks over here also, or while moving somewhere it sinks over here, it is not the responsibility of the seller. He says I must get my money because I have followed the Inco terms. Now you do anything with this ship, I don't care. So that's why this is wrong. So that's why C is the answer. Okay. Now coming back to this, we are in the last part of the session. How to use this code? Okay. How to use this code? Go to Adda 24/7. Say this, I'll show you over here. Go to Adda 24/7. Yeah. See this. On Adda 24/7, I'll show you from the start. Okay. On this, go to directly click on Adda 24/7. Yeah. See here, you have come to Adda 24/7. Click on this JAIIB CAIIB top part. Okay. Now you'll see all the packages over here. Click on this CAIIB November December English. Okay. Once you click on this CAIIB November December English, you'll see all the batches over here. Click on this batch. Once you click on this batch, you'll see the details of this batch. Read this. Okay. Again, I am telling you 120 plus hours of live coverage, ABM, BFM plus practice test, mock tests are there, ebooks are available. Importantly, we'll be covering all the case studies. 12 marks case studies. Remember, 12 case studies of 5 marks each. Okay, in ABM and as well as BFM. So read this carefully. Also, this 1799 is the fees. View the offers. Click on view offers and see the code. Okay. Why put this code? What was the code? Y432. Apply this. Once you apply the code, see this fees. 1799 reduces to 3599. Means 3600, not even 1 rupee less than that. Okay. So if you go for this and you clear CAIIB, you'll in how many months will you recover this 3599? In how many months? 3 months. 13 3s are 39. Right? You get an increment of average 1300. So go for it as fast as possible. Okay. I'll see you later tomorrow with another